This is Professor Michael Chapman. I'm one of the most experienced IVF doctors in Australia. I believe that an important part that I can contribute is to educate patients in relation to fertility, infertility, and all that involves. These series of podcasts help to educate you. I hope they are helpful to you. If you wish to know more, however, I'm more than happy to have you contact me via email, which is profmchapman@gmail.com, or make an appointment to see me on 9138 4222. This is Professor Michael Chapman, Senior Fertility Specialist and Medical Director of Life Fertility Sydney. I'd like to start tonight to talk about expectations. When you're trying to conceive, you make that decision usually with your partner, not always. It may be that you're seeking donor sperm, but the decision's made that now is the time to have a baby. What you have to realise is that having a baby tomorrow just does not happen. It's very, very uncommon to actually be pregnant as soon as you want to be. Unfortunately, the human is actually not a great reproducer. Unlike a rabbit, when they come into season, they almost guarantee having a set of pups. A human is not the same, in part because we only make the one egg, and that egg is actually a more complex egg than in other animal species. And that complexity leads to abnormalities. And nature, to deal with that, although there are a lot of conceptions every month, over half of them actually never get to being a baby at the end of the day. So that means that the background rate of human fertility, if you're under 35, is no better than 1 in 6 chance each month, 15% each month. That's the best that humans can get. Obviously, if you go to IVF, because we're producing multiple eggs, multiple embryos, your chances of success are significantly higher, probably 2 to 3 times higher than natural conception. But there's a cost and an emotional cost with going through the IVF. Going back to, if it's only 15% per cycle, why aren't I having IVF straight away? Well, it's because every month that 15% is there. So if you think about 1 in 6, it's actually a dice. You throw a dice and you get a 6. Yes, you are the one that's got pregnant in the first cycle. Then, if you throw the dice again and you haven't got a 6 the first time, you might get it the second time, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth. In fact, to get to having a 90% chance of throwing a 6, you've got to throw the dice 10 or 12 times. And that's what human nature has decreed for our fertility, that it takes 12 months to have a 90% chance of a baby at the age of 35 or less. And it gets less as you get older, because each month it reduces. So at 40, it's probably nearer 10% per month. So my message when you're first starting to decide to conceive is make sure that everything's okay, i.e. the sperm's okay, you're making an egg every month because you're having regular periods, and that your fallopian tubes are likely to be fine. That's, get all the checks done. But if they're all okay, I encourage patients to be patient, because even with IVF, we can't do better than the equivalent of 3 months of trying on your own. And 3 months is not a long time, except it is in the 21st century, because we all want everything to happen immediately. It's a problem. But I do see too many patients who only been trying for 6 or 7 months. And I think they're almost disappointed when I send them away saying, you're going to do better by trying on your own, once I've excluded any problems with the sperm, the eggs, and the fallopian tube. So conservative management is appropriate. And we don't need to get to IVF that early on. It's not the be all and the end all, because IVF is no guarantee either. So let's change the topic. Let's talk about male infertility. One particular aspect of male infertility, what concerns me greatly, but I've recently seen an article about it in one of the regular magazines, popular magazines, taking supplements at the gym. When you are in your 20s and you want to look Mr. Good, if you think good is muscles and slimness, if that's what you think, and you go to gym to make yourself look like that, maybe you'll be approached at the gym by the people who run it saying, and we can help you get even better by using these tablets or taking these injections. And what are they? We need to know. Mostly they are related to steroids. Steroids are hormones. They get converted, or they may well be androgens, male hormones, because that's what makes muscles stronger. There's no question of that. But what happens to your fertility? Taking testosterone or a derivative of it does lead to suppression of your brain hormones that drive the process of sperm generation, of the production line down in your testicles that's going to produce multiple sperm. And if you don't, if you do take steroids, you'll switch those off, and therefore your sperm production will also switch off. And what does that mean? It means you won't get somebody pregnant when you want to get them pregnant. You'll be told by the people at the gym that it's all reversible. There's nothing to worry about. Sperm will be fine, and we can give you injections to improve it. It's not true. A significant percentage will not return to normal. And if they do return to normal, it may take 2 or 3 years. And your partner is not going to be very happy if she knows that you have prevented them from having a baby because of your desire to look so wonderful by taking steroids at the gym. So just don't do it. It's straightforward. If you are thinking about having a baby in the next 5 years, do not take steroids at the gym. Be aware that the sperm production will decline. And in the period after that, while your body starts to try and readjust back to normal, you're going to have low testosterone because your brain is switched off making the hormones that make testosterone. So you're actually going to do your libido no good either. So what to do next? A, stop them. B, never use them. But if you do have a problem in terms of trying for 6 months with your partner and you haven't had any success and you're under 30, make sure you get a sperm test done. And if you do find that there's absence of sperm or a very low production of sperm, come and see a specialist, because there are specific medications that should help, but it's not always the case.
And don't forget that you can access all the previous episodes by going to our website www.theivfjourney.com and select IVF Journey podcast from the navigation menu.